Hey guys, this is Jared,
And this is Brandon.
and we're coming at you today with yet another commentary track for Zyuranger. Hopefully, this will be the third in a long-running series. Today, we're going to be doing episode 3, Fight in the Land of Despair. So we look forward to getting right into it, and we're going to give you a countdown, or count up, whatever you want to say. So on 3, you can go ahead, and we're using the Shout Factory DVDs, and we're on the episode selection screen. So it's Fight in the Land of Despair, episode 3. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Zyuranger. Alright, book opens up.
People should always make it clear if they're doing whatever on the number 3 or go after the number 3.
Yes. That's right. You gotta make it clear. That trope has been exhausted now in comedy films. Yeah. Now everybody does a joke about it. I don't know. The argument about which one to go on. It's fun.
It's a real life problem.
It is.
Speaking of real life problem, those Dora golems. They'll come get you.
Yeah. They came after me the other day on the way to work. I had to really speed up.
They
call the police.
They broke in on me on the toilet. I was horrified.
You know, they made me stay on the toilet while they flushed it. I don't know why, but who knows. It's funny to me because the Zyuranger actors here look sort of terrified in the freeze frame. It's like they get them in the wrong freeze frames every time. Like they look so nonchalant. May here is the worst. It looks like she doesn't have a soul. It's like I'm staring directly into a soul that isn't there. But however, I got to give her some credit here. I think she was only 16 or 17 years old.
Yeah, she was a very young actress at the time.
I mean, it might have been as young as they had ever went.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, but she was very young. They're always by your side, I heard. Those Zyurangers.
Dinosaur Squadron. Can you imagine if the show
Dino Squad
had just been called Dino Squad or Dinosaur Squadron in the U.S. when they brought this over?
I think it still would have been big. I don't think that would have stopped it, but it would have been strange.
Yeah.
I do like that we get some training stuff here because it helps me to kind of
I
understand more about who they are.
I feel like the Zyurangers' weapons get destroyed in every episode.
Well, it won't happen much more after this, but there's some acknowledgement here that their previous weapons were destroyed later on in the episode. Yeah. So they have crap weapons that just aren't going to do it. It's just like fighting with their bare hands.
We'll have to go to the flea market and get some new ones.
So I do like that they acknowledge some continuity here, which is something they don't often do in Zyuranger after this. Because if you remember, Dora Skeleton basically destroyed all their stuff.
Yeah.
So there is, a need to go on a quest for new weapons.
The quest for more money.
Now, this is probably due to Toei getting going so quickly on the show, like they always did back in those days, that they probably didn't even have enough time to design them and finish them for the first little bit.
I'd say,
so
yeah.
Why not write an episode or two, which this is the first of a two-parter, actually, to where they could get new weapons. There's this creepy song again. Go to the woods, young lady. I mean, gee. Barza, not my favorite mentor, but, he's all right, I guess.
Why does Barza want that young lady to go to the woods?
Here's Hiroshi, I think is his name. And I really, actually, there's a lot of kid stories in Zyuranger, and I actually sort of like this one all right.
That sweet roll looks delicious.
Yes.
30.
This kid got a 30 out of 100. Yes, he does need to study. I agree. He needs to study a little bit harder.
I wonder if there's any period reflective Japanese toys in this room.
If you look close enough, maybe. This is hilarious. You have Pandora here, and all of a sudden she empathizes with the kids. She's like, oh, they have to study so hard these days. Oh, that's so sad. She doesn't care. She's pulling a labyrinth. She is.
Yes.
For all of a sudden, Jareth, he kind of waxes poetic, but he's also sort of evil. Oh my.
That's a lot like Labyrinth, actually.
Yeah, it is. See? Got a lot of Labyrinth stuff going on here. This is like Poltergeist.
Yeah. I was thinking that exact same thing. Are they in the land of despair now?
I think so. See, here, once again, we have the book trope that they use, the giant book. The dragon with 5 heads, land of despair. You mean Ghidorah? Here they decapitate the dragon and stick some weapons inside of it, so that's always cool.
Are you telling me they're going to fight this dragon?
It's possible.
Jared has watched these. I have not, so...
No, this is... they're not going to fight the dragon, but they will be fighting a foe, a Power Rangers foe that I think you'll have very fond memories of.
Oh, okay. Is it Pizzy Pig?
No, you'll see, though. No. I want to be a surprise for you, 'cause I have very fond memories of this monster. Now, I like the structure of this, because this is a quest structure. And all the best stories, I think, told in Power Rangers were the quest stories. Mm-hmm. Going after new powers, going after new equipment. The movie is a quest story, the old 95 movie. Mm. So, the Land of Despair has this crazy caveat to it that if you feel sad or you feel like despair, you will turn to stone. And I think it's a crazy idea.
Whoa.
Goshi looks kind of confused there. Goshi. I like the miniature of the little rock that the castle's on back there. It's kind of neat. Oh yeah. Got us some proto versions of the weapons here. They're
bedazzled.
I like that they look like sort of more authentic old weapons there in that form.
Yeah.
Rather than, the super toyetic, like robot weapons.
I love the idea that the weapons transform too with them.
Yes. I wish this had happened in more episodes of Zyuranger where Mandora contacts them directly and it's just like, hey.
Yeah. That boy should have turned to stone already. Let's get one thing straight.
Well, most boys his age probably would have been crying by now, so. Okay, now this is something I want you to pay attention to. If you have magical power, like Mandora or like Barza, you can't touch the weapons, or you'll, what did he say? He said you'll turn to stone, or did he say you'll burn? Sorry. Yeah. He said you'll burn. Does that sound familiar to you in Power Rangers?
It's like the Zeo Crystal.
It's just like Lord Zed and the Zeo Crystal. Yeah. Lord Zed tried possibly to get the Zeo Crystal, and maybe that's what disfigured him. So I think that's a really interesting connection. It's almost like they never forgot it.
Yeah, something that they went back to later. Or maybe they just took it from Man-Thing comics.
Here you have an evil clock. Villain designs, like the reoccurring villains and a lot of the other Sentais just aren't this interesting.
Yeah.
I do like the whole, the mecha robot family. I don't know what the Japanese names are in O-Ranger. Those are a lot of fun, but still, they're not quite as unique and interesting as these are.
Oh, they're going to fight the Minotaur?
Yep.
From the Sega Genesis game.
From the Sega Genesis game. That's why I'm so fond of it. Because for me, it's just that old Sega Genesis fighting game. I'm telling you, man, they're pushing the boundaries of that rock quarry as far as they can. Which is something that British Doctor Who did as well.
I was just about to say they're pushing it as far as 70s Doctor Who.
Yep.
If you hear any subtle chewing, I'm eating some new Sour Patch Kids. The fire kind, and they are delicious.
Brandon got $10 from the company for saying that.
Looks like Johnny Soko's robot down there.
Yeah, he had tried to go to the Land of Despair.
Maybe. You don't know.
I don't know.
We could film that here in Eastern Kentucky.
I like Hiroshi alright because he's not extremely annoying in this. Because some of the kids are just horrendous.
Oh,
yeah. Ranger.
And Power Rangers.
And Power Rangers. But Hiroshi, much like the Rangers themselves, needed some more setup for us to care as much that he's even stuck here. For Dan to get that thirsty that quick, he doesn't have a lot of stamina.
No, that's the toilet. No,
it's not a mirage in a desert. It's a mirage in a rock quarry, which is a much more dangerous mirage. It's hard for me not to think somebody didn't get hurt doing that. I mean, really,
he's just dead. He couldn't live through that.
I don't think Ouch is the appropriate term here. This more casual cursing in Zyuranger. This is very creepy.
Yeah.
It's zombies! It's zombies! There we go. Isn't that great?
They did this another time later on, and I don't know if it was in Zyuranger proper or if it was in the new footage for the end of season 1 of our show, where they were fighting the shark monster who was sliding around underground.
You know, I'm not really sure, but I can't really remember the context of it.
Oh
yeah. I'm telling you.
This guy got a very nice action figure.
Oh yeah, that
back in the
figure was
Bandai
great.
days.
The costume is really good for this guy. It also establishes Zyuranger as more of a mythical themed Sentai.
Yeah, it's interesting because these first few guest creature costumes, Dora Titan and Bones, and now the Minotaur, are all very much sort of in the traditional fantasy setting.
There's kind of a Greek flavor.
Yeah, mythical.
Yeah.
There's nothing quite so fanciful yet.
There's a Greek mythology kind of flavor, which they get away from a little bit later.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
At the beginning, I think that their idea was to theme the show around that. There's some Dora golems.
Sort of ancient.
I kind of
well, even the golem is a mythical creature.
Well, you're right. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it, but yeah, you're absolutely right. I kind of missed not seeing the Dora golems more in the last episode, so I'm glad that they're back in full force. Trust me, you won't miss them for too long in Zyuranger. They're back around all the time.
They're much more frightening in Zyuranger than they are in Power Rangers, for sure.
Well, it can't be understated how much
kind
of takes away their threat.
Their credibility.
Now, I love that Grifforza just kind of shows up to kind of just help the putties, which is very in line with the MMPR, how they would structure it, especially in Season 3 when they would just show up, Oh yeah, Dino Buckler! Woohoo! It's funny, they use all this footage just fine in episode 3 of Power Rangers. Let me see, it was called, let me look here, it was called episode 3, Teamwork. And, but the weapon attainment, like that's not the point of it. Like they're not on a quest necessarily for the weapons. Instead, it's some of the worst writing in those early Power Rangers episodes when it's just all of a sudden like...
Are they just learning how to be better teammates?
Basically, like it's one of those things where Zordon is just like at the end, he just kind of like is like, hey,
you learned a real lesson this time.
Take these weapons, Rangers. I have these. Like that's like they're not on like a quest to prove like that they need the weapons or anything.
Yeah.
But I'll talk more about the Power Rangers comparison at the end. See, once again, what's their connection to Hiroshi here? I mean, is there needed to be at least just a few seconds of some setup where maybe they know Hiroshi, or like Barza has more of a connection.
Yeah.
Because this way it doesn't really.
Well, who do you think Hiroshi's dad is, Jared?
Well, there you go. It's a secret.
Barza? Anybody?
And it's a scandal. He's got kids all over town. Sometimes I wondered how that they could like dirty up the Zyuranger costumes like that.
In good conscience.
And did it wash right out, or were those special stunt costumes that already had those marks on them?
I don't know.
I mean, did they really switch them out that often? I mean, I don't really get it.
Well, I imagine they probably had multiple sets, and they had some that were more, filthy than others, and they would probably just shoot in relative
It's a secret of Super Sentai that I just don't know.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to know.
Nope.
Some things are better left magical.
That's right.
Like we always say, it's magic spandex.
The enchanted magical spandex. Now, listen to this. Demons who sleep underground give Dora Minotaur power.
Satan?
I'm sorry, but make my monster grow is a little less devious than that. And that's what she always says for the rest of the show, too. Demons who sleep underground. I mean, gee. And the thing is that, like, they don't shy away from it. There's always, like, an occult kind of deal with Pandora in the show, because I guess she is a witch.
She practically worships the devil. I mean, for real.
Well, yeah, later on in the show we'll see that it's more of a thing.
Yeah.
There's some forced perspective back there that didn't really work.
No.
When Minotaur was coming towards them. Okay. We're finally going to get to see the other Guardian Beasts here in a second. This is one of my favorite choreographed mecha battles in Zyuranger because of just how creative they get with all the individual mecha. It's hard for me not to call them Zords.
Yeah.
Zew Mammoth.
The mammoth isn't really a dinosaur.
Nope.
Even when we
Neither
were
is
kids,
the saber-toothed tiger.
Even when we were kids, we knew better. Like,
or the saber tiger, as
Yeah.
they call it here sometimes. I love how the Triceratops comes to this crazy desert.
Yeah.
And I really like the look of the desert that they created. It's really neat. All this miniature work and stuff is super cool.
Also, he doesn't even have legs.
Nope. Just some wheels. And what's funny is these things were supposed to help them in, like, ancient times. And,
Yeah.
and they weren't, like, actual beasts. They were just these robots that showed them in the flashback.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, it can't be understated that here in Zyuranger, these are mythical, like, god creatures.
Yeah.
Even though they look like machines for some reason, these are like sentient god creatures. Man, that thrilled me to death to see the pterodactyl when I was a kid come out of the volcano.
That's cool. We never used that.
Nope, never used that.
Why?
I don't think so anyway. Maybe we did, but I can't remember
I don't
if we
remember
did.
it. That was brand new to me.
Great green screen shot.
Mm-hmm.
The almost humorous sound effect that they make when they jump, that boing,
Boing.
boing, sound like they're jumping off a spring, like a coil. Let's go, Guardian Beasts. Good times. Like the hooves in the costume there.
Go Guardian, go Guardian, go Guardian Beast.
And that's not a real song in the show. However, it should have been.
Yes.
That's
Take him out. I want to see some bullet holes in those putties.
when the going gets tough, you just blast them. See, once again, that was, the pterodactyl wasn't being piloted or anything. It was just, a sentient creature that the Rangers just kind of help control, I guess, somehow.
They aim.
Yep, they aim. See, they get to use, like, all their little equipment as individual Zords here in this fight, and it's just so cool to see it.
In the desert that happens to be adjacent to this area.
You don't hardly see this footage, like, much more in the show either. I mean, they do every now and then, I guess, but getting to see them use their individual kind of tricks and weapons is so great. And, man, I'm not really sure how they did the Saber Tiger puppet like that, but it's got a lot of fluid movement.
That's great. That's one of the things about sort of using low-grade film or video is that you can do a lot of things with fishing wire and string that don't really show just because of the quality of the
Now check
image.
this out. The horns actually launch off and have like the ropes on them. This is something that I don't think, or chains I should say, I don't think this has been replicated in any toy. I don't think that's ever been like a feature. I'm not really even sure how they would do it, so I can understand why they wouldn't. So, and it's kind of weird that they don't have the Pink Ranger in her mecha at this point, but I guess they needed somebody to be with Hiroshi. Here we go. This is supposed to be stone, but
it's like paper
just-
grocery bags.
it's grocery bags, or I think it's just duct tape. I mean,
Oh,
look at
yeah.
it. It just looks like duct tape that maybe they put some gray paint over.
Yeah.
Hiroshi?
Oh Lord,
Bro,
no!
if you cry, yeah. That duct tape's going to turn into plaster, alright? I mean stone. Here we have here we have the ending and leading into the cliffhanger here. It's actually a pretty great little cliffhanger, I
Boy
think.
accidentally knocks over Hiroshi as he jumps over the tree.
Bust him into a billion pieces.
No!
Whoops! To be continued indeed. And just like our commentary is to be continued as well.